Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for tuning in. We have a lot to talk about, and let's just get right to it. Don Jr. and Jared Kushner's congressional testimonies are finally going to Mueller. Oh my God. Finally? That is amazing. This is what we've all been waiting for. 2 years in, and there's nothing linking Trump to any criminal behavior. But oh my God. Their testimonies are finally going to Mueller. This is astounding. What'll happen next? To my super chat, thank you so very much. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams. And you help support my voice. And by the way, I was just published in the Jerusalem Post, Why Democrats Embrace Anti-Semitism and Anti-Israel Bias. Please, please, please share that article everywhere. Here's the article. It's in the Jerusalem Post, just up today. Thank you, everyone, for your kind words. If you're on social media platforms, if you're on Twitter, Facebook, Minds, whatever, I am protesting social media, so I deleted my Twitter account. And now you're seeing people do that, by the way. You're seeing people delete their Twitter accounts. But just remember that I deleted my Twitter account, like about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks, a month ago. But definitely share this if you're still on social media. My Jerusalem Post article, it is below. It will be below in the description section or in the pinned comment. And check out HA's Second Amendment as well. So this is a Vice article. Don Jr. and Jared Kushner's congressional testimonies are finally going to Mueller. Finally. Oh my God. Any criminal behavior? No. There has been no criminal behavior linked to the reason for the Mueller probe. The reason for the investigation was that Trump was supposed to have worked with a foreign power. We know that was Hillary Clinton who purchased the Steele dossier. And Fusion GPS had a DOJ official and his wife working as back channels. Don't you love that word? As back channels to the FBI. So the DOJ and the FBI and third-party tech firms like CrowdStrike, outsourced by Democrats to give images and pictures of DNC servers to the United States government. So it's complete and utter nonsense. The United States government never looked at DNC servers. So how does the U.S. government know that Russia or anyone else hacked the DNC? They don't. But let's read this. The House Intelligence Committee's Democratic leadership has scheduled a vote to send potential breakthrough transcripts to Special Counsel Robert Mueller's desk. Oh my God, you mean they've been in Congress this whole time? Oh my God, is it going to be another amazing report that's refuted by Mueller? Is it going to be another restricted call that we finally find out wasn't to the president, between the president and his son? The committee will vote this Wednesday, on turning over sensitive Russia probe transcripts. Oh, so sensitive. In a move that carries serious implications for anyone who can be shown to have lied. Oh, isn't that interesting? Hillary Clinton, we know already in the Benghazi testimony, lied numerous times, committed perjury numerous times with the intent to lie. With the intent to lie. So, House panel lays out case that Clinton perjured herself. That is pertaining, by the way, to thank you for the kind words, everyone. That's pertaining, by the way, to actual statutes that she broke. Actual statutes that she broke. Whoa, I almost stopped the broadcast. That's crazy. I have to put this. So when you do a YouTube live, like a hangout, if you have a whole bunch of windows open and you have a little stop broadcast icon, it's too high up, you can accidentally press it. It's kind of funny. Anyway, you have the handover could put President Trump's eldest son, John Jr., in the hot seat. Oh, no, not again. Democrats have signaled suspicions that Trump Jr. may have been untruthful. About what? Who cares if he had a meeting? Who cares? It's not even, what they're doing now is they're trying to get him on technicalities regarding a perfectly legal meeting. Whereas Clinton lied about criminal behavior overtly. She never, not that it was marked, she said she never had classified information and that she gave all the information to the State Department, which is lie after lie after lie. Mueller has already slapped criminal charges on 2 people for making false statements to the committee. Yeah, Michael Cohen and Roger Stone. First of all, Michael Cohen was never in Prague, number one. And Michael Cohen allegedly lied about Trump. So what he stated he lied about, there's no information that he lied about it, because he's like, well, Trump says you said not to talk about, the tower meeting, whatever it is that Cohen said. There's no way to prove that. And with Roger Stone, it's like Jerome Corsi is saying, oh, well, he said something about WikiLeaks and something about the DNC emails. It's like, what? That has nothing to do with. These are not criminal acts. This is gossip. The Democratic Party, what took place was the DNC emails and the Podesta emails shed a light into their overt, insidious corruption. So the reality, the truth about them, caused them to just melt down into this new logic. The new logic is, well, if they told the truth about us, we can then just focus on complete nonsense. Eric H526, fantastic article, HA. Shared. Have a great week. Thank you so very much. Eric H526, thank you. Thank you. Eric H526, thank you. So it's like, okay, so a notice posted to the House Intelligence Committee calendar late Friday said members will gather Wednesday to vote on the transmission of certain committee transcripts to the department. So they have to flip the script, and there has to be a special counsel regarding Clinton. I mean, if they don't do that, it's now not just a matter for Trump. There are Republicans who don't like Trump. Fine. There are never Trumpers, even to this day. Fine. But there's actual criminal behavior with Clinton. She actually committed crimes. Even Democrats know that. If you were just to utilize the fanaticism and the same, like, nonstop enthusiasm, zealotry, if you were to utilize the same, singular focus on trying to just get information on Clinton's crimes by any means necessary through the United States, through the power and the prestige of the United States. Oh my God, do you realize how many people would be indicted for crimes directly associated with Clinton? I mean, you have Brian Pagliano, you have Cheryl Mills, you have Uma Abedin, you have all of these people without whom she could not have run a private server outside the United States, servers outside the United States government. You have all of these people. And it's like unbelievable. Like, This is nonsense. Other members of Trump's inner circle who've appeared before the committee include Jared Kushner, Brad Pascal, digital media director. Okay. Keith Schiller, Trump's former bodyguard. Eric Prince, Hope Hicks, Felix Sater, former Trump real estate associate. Steve Bannon, Alexander Nix. Oh my God, Cambridge Analytica. It's like, who cares about this? What is Mueller doing? This has absolutely nothing to do with national security. And if it's about a fraud committed, where is the investigation into how the United States of America was plunged into this? William Barr is going to, hopefully, he stated he's going to investigate. We finally have, and Rod Rosenstein, ladies and gentlemen, is out the door. He is going to leave shortly after William Barr is officially confirmed, which is Thursday. So you have the State of the Union tomorrow. ICAS 80. Dems can't moonwalk out of this one. No, they can't. No, they cannot. ICAS 80, thank you. They cannot moonwalk out of this one. They can't do anything. And I think that, look, it could be, all of this could have been, this last 2 years could have been preparation, or, a kind of deflection, or, getting the country ready to make everything morally relative. Everything morally relative. So that's the thing. I mean, all of this stuff is like, all of this stuff is complete and utter nonsense. So a total of 73 witnesses, are you kidding me, have appeared before the committee, according to a report. 73 witnesses. Where are they? James Comey had 17 witnesses he didn't even interview, and he just wrote the exoneration of Clinton. Like, this is an enormous, enormous, enormous issue. Enormous issue. And you have Michael Mukasey, who I used to listen to a lot. There are a bunch of people during the 2016 election I used to listen to regarding the Clinton email investigation. And it's like, this is a serious. The Clinton email debacle is more serious. It's a bigger controversy. Former AG Mukasey predicts criminal charge for Clinton. This is January 25th, 2016. Now let's just listen to this really quickly. This is former Attorney General Michael Mukasey. He was Attorney General after William Barr. You're talking about a different breed of DOJ figure. Oh, Lord. General Michael Mukasey, I think. Oh, Lord. Hold on one second. After William Barr. Hold on. It was only here. Taken and relabeled that after the fact. Do you believe that? Is that possible?
It's possible that something that came to her wasn't labeled classified. On the other hand, she was the Secretary of State. The information contained in there was classified, whether it was labeled that way or not.
Can you hear this? Press 1 if you can hear Michael Mukasey. Is this mic on? Alexa Jones. Okay, good. All right. So listen to Michael Mukasey. Listen to Michael Mukasey. He was the Attorney General under Baby Bush, the truly dangerous one, and the worst president we've ever had. And Papa Bush William Barr was the Attorney General under Herbert Walker. Now, you're talking about a different type of Republican. This is an establishment from the 90s. They think completely. They're more apolitical when it comes to overt crimes. Overt crimes. So when it comes to overt crimes, they're just going. They don't care about the media uproar. So listen to Michael Mukasey.
Not. So to say that it wasn't labeled classified and was labeled only afterwards is saying absolutely nothing, because it's the information that's protected, not the label on it.
All right, so she could be in real legal trouble here. And even if the Justice Department didn't follow up on a recommendation on the FBI, hypothetical, well, maybe. A lot of folks say that she could still survive even that, minus some of the other drama of possible FBI resignations and people stepping down. Avoiding that, she could still survive.
That's a political judgment. I'm not a politician, but it's hard for me to see how.
Why? We've seen it before. We've seen those in the IRS who many people said were sort of investigated.
Yeah, Lois Lerner wasn't running for public office.
What difference should that
when you say survive, do you mean be elected?
No, just to be hands off. If there was a hands off policy with Lois Lerner, ultimately as there was, whether Hillary Clinton's running for office or not, I agree with you, there's summation there, but they might argue it's the same deal.
I suppose they might. And by survive, you mean survive without a charge being brought during this administration? I suppose it's theoretically possible, but I thought you meant survive politically.
So you think the surviving politically is what's held in question here?
Well, do you really think that the American people are about to elect somebody as to whom there have been recommended charges of
if it came to that?
Okay, so there's an actual. There's a statement. This is Neil Cavuto, exactly. There's a statement here that I forwarded too quickly to. So he says it's huge, meaning it's a huge scandal. But Neil Cavuto is like, oh, is this a big deal? Yeah, it's huge. So just listen to this. This is really, really important. And here's the actual link. Here's the actual link. But I'll try to find the. Okay, so here. Just listen to this.
Possibly the director. I can't speak for him, obviously, but if he were to recommend a charge in a case this serious and it were not to be followed,
that would be unusual and certainly legal or Justice Department history, wouldn't it? I mean, if the FBI would recommend something and it didn't follow up, infrequent as it is.
I don't know whether it's frequent or not, but and I've seen the FBI walk into the door of the U.S. Attorney's Office with what they think is a case, and it turns out not to be. But this isn't that kind of thing at all.
What is it?
It's huge. I don't think that this is going to end happily for Mrs. Clinton, given the kind of evidence and the amount of evidence that we've already seen.
It's huge. I don't think this is going to end happily for Mrs. Clinton, given the amount of evidence we've seen. This is January 25th, 2016. Do you realize how much more we've learned? And it's, they talk about the Overton window and Trump. The Overton window with Clinton is like what you didn't think you would ever allow is always like the more scandal you find out regarding Clinton, the more evidence you find out of criminal behavior, the more it's almost the more we find out about Clinton's crimes, the more society is willing to just forget because of the media. But listen to this again. Listen to this again. It's really important, and you got to look at. And I think it's like around maybe a minute 10 in. But hold on, just listen to this again. This is really important. It seems like, oh, this is dry. Here we go, HA. Like, why is this important? It's very important because he's a former attorney general, and he's the same type of person as William Barr. Sessions is a political animal, and Sessions was worried about criminal charges or perjury of his own, because he said he didn't speak to Sergei Kislyak and he spoke to Sergei Kislyak. It's like they get people on the most minute things. Meanwhile, Clinton lied numerous times. She got away with it. Brian Pagliano didn't even go to, he was subpoenaed. This is the guy who set up Clinton's server. He didn't even go to testimony. He ripped up his subpoena. Nothing happened. So you can't have the precedent. That's my point. But check this out.
I can't speak for him, obviously, but if he were to recommend a charge in a case this serious and it were not to be followed,
that would be unusual and certainly legal or Justice Department history, wouldn't it? I mean, if the FBI would recommend something and it didn't follow up, infrequent as it is.
I don't know whether it's frequent or not, but and I've seen the FBI walk into the door of a U.S. Attorney's office with what they think is a case, and it turns out not to be. But this isn't that kind of thing at all.
What is it?
It's huge. I don't think that this is going to end happily for Mrs. Clinton, given the kind of evidence and the amount of evidence that we've already seen.
The amount of evidence being top secret data and information.
Being top secret data, being her clear knowledge of what was there, and her instruction to people to send classified material in an unclassified setting.
So when she said at the time that she didn't know or see it as such, it was only taken and relabeled that after the fact. Do you believe that? Is that possible?
It's possible that something that came to...
All right. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, that's the point. Minute 22, 1 minute and 22, 1 minute and 20 seconds into this, you have Michael Mukasey. Michael Mukasey stating, look, it's not going to end well. It's not going to end happily. The amount of evidence just then, she had a, there was one email where she's like, okay, just, send it non-paper. Meaning send it no matter what, even if it's classified. And then they said, oh, it's just notes. It was not that big of a deal. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's always send it non-paper. Clinton defends telling aide to send data through non-secure channel. So that's just an example, though. Judicial Watch has an example of saying, yeah, what's the actual quote? Judicial Watch quote. There's a you know what? Judicial Watch quote. Experts warned. Okay, so an email. There's a great quote that Judicial Watch found, and it's where she admits, yeah, experts warn. Experts warned her. Judicial Watch, Hillary Clinton, security experts, quote, email. You know what? I'll eventually find the quote, but there's a great quote. And it's like basically like, oh, well, you know what? Experts warned her. And, it's like, well, she's just gonna do it anyway. So she used a BlackBerry, by the way, that was hacked by everyone. Here, new Hillary Clinton email used against the advice of the security hawks. There is the quote. Mrs. Clinton seemingly ignored the advice of security hawks and violated numerous laws related to the handling of classified material. Again, so not only that, it's not just the handling. She actually transferred. Like, I get the handling. Okay. It's like, you mishandled, but she actively transferred. But this is what she wrote to Arnold Schwarzenegger, to Arnold Schwarzenegger's. This email was sent to Susan Kennedy, presumably former Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger's chief of staff. Presumably, it says. Kennedy wrote Clinton on March 2009 that just in case you are still allowed to carry your BlackBerry, your friends are watching with great pride. Clinton responded on March 8, 2009, against the advice of security hawks. I still do carry my berry, but I'm prohibited from using it in my office where I spend most of my time when I'm not on the plane or in no coverage country. Okay, against the advice of security hawks. She states that right there. But that's, see, again, it's like you have to have, without a shadow of a doubt, proof that Clinton committed crimes. With Trump, it's like if they could get his, hairstylist, they would. You connect the dots. Connect all these dots. Meanwhile, she says, against the advice of security hawks. Against the advice. Well, how much more evidence do you need? I mean, how much more evidence do you need? It's unbelievable. It is so obvious. It is so obvious. They spent 2 years because they lost. They spent 2 years. They lost the election. They lost the election, and they spent 2 years trying to save face. They spent 2 years trying to save face. And it still doesn't work because nobody believes them. So it's like they spent 2 years trying to save face. It doesn't work. Nobody believes them. And at the end of the day, what have they, aside from creating just 2 years of a new Cold War, what have they created? How has this helped national security in any way, shape, or form? How? How has this helped national security? It hasn't. It hasn't. That's the issue. There is nothing to do. This has nothing to do with national security. None of this has anything to do with national security. Clinton's issues have everything to do with national security. You cannot have a functioning state. You can't have a functioning country. Okay? You cannot have a functioning country. Against the advice of security hawks, I still do carry my berry. She deleted 33,000 emails. The NSA has them. I wrote about that. That's it. Trump needs to just get the NSA to disclose the emails, and that's it. Game over. What's she going to do, sue? What's stopping the White House from doing this, aside from the NSA not complying? There's pretty much nothing. The United States government has all her emails. That's obvious. That's obvious. The NSA has all her emails. It's obvious. It's obvious. They're all pay-to-play emails. That's why she used a private server to hide. She had a foundation that's an overt money laundering scheme. Money goes in, preferable treatment takes place, and there you go. That's it. It's not hard to understand. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious what's happening. So, and it's like they still can't, they can't move on from the whole Trump Russia thing because this is just, you're stalling now. They're stalling. They're just stalling at this point. At this point right now, it's been 2 years. Okay, if we can convince enough people when Clinton eventually gets indicted, when we can convince enough people, let's try to convince just enough people. It's just, it's unbelievable. So let's see. Federal prosecutor subpoena Trump inaugural committee. Okay, so you have Democrats, because they're not prosecuted Democrats. Federal prosecutors in New York. Okay, where are the federal prosecutors in Alabama or a red state? What about Missouri? What about, I don't know, Little Rock, Arkansas? Where are these people? Like, it's very easy. She committed crimes. Start to subpoena people. Federal prosecutors in New York Monday subpoenaed President Trump's inaugural committee for documents related to donors, vendors, and finances. Hello? The Clinton Foundation has a litany of pay-to-play schemes. The wide-ranging subpoena from Manhattan's U.S. Attorney's Office requires the committee to turn over documents related to virtually every donor or donation. The possibility of donations made by foreign nationals. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You had uranium sold under President Obama's administration, 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. Money flowed into the Clinton Foundation. Are you kidding me? It's pretty the whole thing is not sustainable. That's what I keep saying. It's just not sustainable. So, thank goodness I'm not on Twitter anymore. I can only imagine what's like how do you continue the charade on Twitter regarding the Mueller probe? Like, what? Let's see. Let's see what else. Twitter, Trump. What a Let's just put hashtag Mueller and see what happens. This is Bette Midler. This is like 5,800 likes. Like, OMG, did you guys see Matthew Whitaker sweating profusely tonight when he tried to explain, sweating bullets tonight when he tried to explain that the Mueller investigation was nearly done? He can't communicate. Yeah, he did. He communicated that. That's what he communicated. He twisted himself into a large bald pretzel, trying to avoid saying what he meant. You will never see this report, which is fantastic also. So, I thought Robert Mueller was supposed to investigate Russia collusion. Now he's become a glorified hole monitor, enforcing the provisions of lying to Congress. Congressman Matt Gaetz. Well, it's like the Clintons did that too, or Hillary did. Could you imagine if a special counsel is leveled upon Hillary Clinton? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? And there's far more justification. There should have been already a special counsel. You can't have a functioning country. I mean, you just cannot have a functioning state. So, and of course, Democrats are opposed. 25 Democrats voted against Trump withdrawing American soldiers. Of course, because that's what Democrats do. They want to keep Americans in quagmires forever. That's exactly what Democrats do. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very much. Something definitely is brewing. And to my super chat, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please share my Jerusalem Post article. It is below, or here it is, and it will be below as well. It is really important that people understand Why Democrats embrace anti-Semitism and anti-Israel bias, and I explain a big part of the reason in the book. I mean, in the op-ed. It's right here. Thank you, Eric H526. Thank you. If you're on any social media platform, please share that. And then I don't get it. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez slammed for call to Jeremy Corbyn. Like, why don't you, instead of calling Jeremy Corbyn, why don't you draft legislation? Oh my God. 37,000 likes. Great to speak to AOC on the phone this evening and hear firsthand how she's challenging the status quo. How is AOC challenging? She's part of the status quo. There's nobody. Bernie is like totally part of the status quo now. The second he was actually an actual threat, they silenced him and he was fine with it. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe. Thank you so very much. Definitely share my Jerusalem Post op-ed. Why Democrats Embrace Anti-Semitism and Anti-Israel Bias. H.A. Goodman, Jerusalem Post. Share that everywhere, please. Thank you so very, very much. And I will be back. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.